So y'all remember when our good friend, sister, cousin, Auntie Tab said this?
And I looked up the definition, and the definition, if you've never looked it up, says a weed is a wild plant growing where it is not wanted. And I said, okay. He said, now, Tab, pay attention. Okay, we're going somewhere. He said, all of this grass is artificial, but it is the only real thing growing. The weed. It's the only real thing growing. Of course, it's not wanted.
I thought that thing hit when I first heard it, but then it really hit this week when I've had to do a lot of self reflection about the current version of me in the current season that I am in. Because a past version of me in previous seasons still kind of runs the driving seat. Here's what I mean. Seasons of my life, I have been heavily shamed and criticized by being called aggressive, bossy, controlling, kind of stubborn at that. And it messed me up for a long time. It still does because I was always likened to this very aggressive person. Like they will always call me some version of a Tasha Smith character, especially like when Why Did I Get Married came out, or in college it would call me Tasha Mack. And it's not that I didn't love those people, and it definitely was because I didn't love those actresses because I adore them both. But it was really enlightening to see how other people perceived me. And sorry, there was a bus that went through, and it really messed with my internal monologue, and it just kept growing the older I get, especially in my early 20s, to where I just grown this chip on my shoulder that people are going to assume the worst of me. No matter how smiley, loving, or silly I can be, they're just going to see that version of me. So I shrunk myself down into a person who doesn't make decisions, to a person who isn't decisive, to a person who doesn't express what she wants, to a person who sees a solution and will maybe suggest a person who won't be as outspoken about it, um, or act on it. And even then it was not working because either I was miserable because I saw the solution and we couldn't get to it, or I was settling for something I didn't want, or I was miserable because then I started transitioning into environments of people who were less unsure and less discerning, or were not ready to take a leadership role. And then nobody, it was a blind leading the blind, as my seeing behind was like, there's a cliff over there, but I don't want to be called aggressive, so I guess we all just gonna fall off the cliff. It's a lose-lose situation. But now I'm in a season of realizing, oh, that was then, this is now. And now I have been given positions to have a level of influence that needs decisions, visions, decisiveness, and a little bit of aggression, whether it's in a leadership role or even checking on people, on loving on people role. When I was like, hey, I was just backing off because I didn't want to become off aggressive. And they're like, actually, no, I like that aggression and I needed that to help motivate me to X, Y, and Z. So, yeah, I, years of feeling like a weed blinded me to when I was actually a wildflower in a wild forest where I was supposed to be in bloom. You're only invasive in the spaces that don't want you. Yeah. All right. I don't know how to end this, so we're going to end it with there. All right. Love y'all. Bye.